What would you say about nepotism in Bollywood, Sushant Singh death, and the way Kangana Ranaut is fighting? So, brother, what I would say, I mean, Sushant Singh Rajput, he was a very good actor, and I don't know what the entire story is, but nepotism in any sector is bad, and those who fight it, they are the real heroes. So, heads up to Kangana Ranaut.
27, I've got both of them.
Namaste from Norway, guys. My name is Arvind, and welcome back to my channel. So guys, this video will be in English, and the reason is because we had asked in a community tab that if you guys have certain questions, so we will try to address them. And primarily most of my videos are in Hindi, so I think there is some sort of community which is left out. They don't get the proper information because of this language barrier. So that is why I have tried to answer these questions in English. And there were in total about 160 comments in the community tab. But we have grouped these questions, and in this video we'll be answering 24 of such questions. So this video will be a bit longer than usually it is, but please hang with us and maybe we have answered your question in this round of the video. So watch this video till the end. So guys, let's take the first question. So the first question is from Donna Sino. And she says that, does age matter in applying for a PhD position in Norway? So dear Donna, it doesn't matter, because I know a couple of people who have actually done their PhD when they are above 40 as well. So I believe you are below 40, but in general it doesn't matter as long as you are in Norway. That is not the criteria which will actually keep you out of the PhD position. So the answer to your question is no, it does not matter. So the second question is from Qazi Sayyed, and the question is how to get research associate and teaching assistant jobs in university while studying masters. So dear Qazi, as I have mentioned it in my couple of videos, that the best way is that you talk to your professor or the teacher who is tutoring you in the class. So the first thing is actually what happens, since I am also teaching a course this semester. So we have been asked to actually hire teaching assistants, and generally what will happen is teacher or the professor, he or she will actually announce it in Canvas. So Canvas is one of the medium where you actually get all of your information when you are studying in Norway. So it is at that time when you can actually volunteer for being a teaching assistant. So now moving on to the third question, which is from Vivek Maurya, and he says how Norway is for the software engineers to get the job. And is it easy to get PR and citizenship in Norway? How much time it takes, and how much time has it taken for your case? So see, as of now, Norway is, I will say, it is pretty good for the software engineers. And when I say software engineers, what I mean is that there are few people who have this, I think, .NET and who come from this software developer background. So according to my experience and what I've talked to people, they say that this is actually a skill which is in great demand, and besides this, definitely machine learning and artificial intelligence is one such skill which is also in great demand. So I have answered a lot of questions about PR in my video. You can please watch that. And generally it takes about 3 to 5 years to get a PR, because now the rules are changing, and plus there are also certain language requirements which you have to fulfill. And then the Norwegian citizenship, that will generally happen after 7 years, coupled with your Norwegian skills. Then the next question comes from Saranya S, and he says that, is it possible to get public sector jobs in Norway? How is it like to buy a house in Norway? Is it affordable? So regarding public sector jobs, what I'll say is that the jobs which are easy to get in the public sector are, one is in the hospitals as a nurse, I would say, or as a doctor, I would say. So these are the few jobs which are actually the state jobs. Besides this, my current job, which is actually an associate professor job, that is also a public sector job. So I mean, it depends at what level you are. So if you are starting from the basics, then it would be a bit hard for you, but as you gain more experience and as you increase your education, then the chances of getting public sector job are fairly easy. So I would recommend that you should do some specialized kind of courses or specialized kind of education. For instance, a PhD. After PhD, the chances becomes a bit higher. So that is one. And regarding the house market, so I mean, it depends. In Oslo area, generally the houses are very expensive if I compare it to the city where I lived, that is in Stavanger. So, and again, the affordability, it depends upon how much income your household is generating. So that is one thing. How is the process to buy a house? I will make a video on that separately because it is a very lengthy topic. Then the next question is from Dastagir Khan, and he says he's firstly congratulating us, me, for being an associate professor, and then he says, I want to know if IELTS required for PhD in Norway. What about funding PhD vacancies? So generally, if you are coming directly from Pakistan, if you have your masters from Pakistan and then you are coming to Norway to do a PhD, then IELTS is required, and the requirement is not very strict. You just require a score of 6. But if you have done your masters, for instance, from UK or US, and then you come and apply, or your masters from Norway or Sweden, then you can directly come and apply for a PhD without IELTS, because generally when you have applied for masters in Norway or Sweden, then you would have given IELTS at that time. So it is sufficient that you document you have given it once. So I'll give you a small summary. So PhD positions, they are generally funded by Norwegian Research Council or Norwegian Ministry of Education. So it is not actually the student who has to worry about the funding. So the funding, as I mentioned, it comes from Norwegian Research Council or European Research Council or Norwegian Ministry of Education. So next question comes from Snehal Durjad, and question is, I am interested for masters in Norway. When should I give TOEFL exam? Will Norway accept Indian students for admission at this pandemic period? So see, generally, as I have repeatedly told in my previous videos, that the admission portal will open in October, right? And it remains open till December. So this is for most of the universities from October to December. So I would say that you can give your IELTS exam somewhere in November. That is one thing. And some of the universities, actually, they also give you relaxation in terms of IELTS. They say that you can submit your score by March. And the second is, will Norway accept students in this corona situation? So as of now, the situation is that none of the universities are actually planning to bring in international students for this entire year. And that is why most of the students will be doing their first semester of studies online. So that is for sure. And I have explained the entire situation in one of my videos, so please have a look at it. You can see the link here. So again, a question about TOEFL from Minu Vincent, and she says that is a good score required, good TOEFL score required for a PhD? So the point is, it is just an eligibility criteria, which means that you should have a 6-pointer, right? If you get an 8-pointer, it won't give you any advantage. So it is just an eligibility criteria. So good score doesn't matter, but a minimum score of 6, that matters. Then Kostab Gadhe asks, is Norwegian language compulsory for getting PR of Norway or for studying master's degrees? So dear friend, I would say that it is not compulsory for master's degree, but yes, it is compulsory to get a PR. Already given this information in my previous video, so please watch them, right? So the video about PR, it says all of the factors which you must have when you are applying for a PR. But I will give you a straight away answer that yes, for PR it matters, and it matters a lot. And then the next question comes from Ashok Parekh, and he says, my question is that Duolingo accepted in Norway for masters. So as I mentioned, for masters you don't require any Norwegian language. So if you want to learn Norwegian and you do it on Duolingo, I think it is a good option. You must do that. But for masters, that is not required. Next question comes from Waki Haider, and he says, is it possible to get a job without work experience but with a master's degree from Norway? So yes, it is possible, because I have seen a lot of people who don't have any experience and they got a job. But again, that is very much dependent upon 2 factors. One is, how is the job market at that situation when you have passed out? And the second is, how hardworking you are, what are your grades, and what was your network, right? So these are the various factors. Then the next questions comes from Pragyan. So he's saying, I'm planning for doing my master's in Norway, and in some videos you told that the ranks doesn't matter. So yes, see, the ranking doesn't matter that much. It matters a bit, but not that much. For instance, if you have taken a technical course for NTNU, from NTNU and from University of Stavanger, but if the candidate at University of Stavanger is much hardworking and has better grades than NTNU, then definitely he would be preferred. So as I mentioned that when I gave my interview for my previous company, there were actually 6 different candidates from different universities. But finally I got an upper edge, and the reason was because I had a bit of work experience and I had a bit better grades and I was a bit more expressive, although my university was at a lower rank. So this concept of ranking, that is actually I think mainly whether in US or in India, but not here. Then he asks that although placements are not there, how about the student to job ratio? So again, it is very market intensive, and the point is that if the market is good for the job, then a lot of people get jobs. But if the market is down, like during the corona situation, the market is really very down, right? And in this time, to get a job or to find an internship is a bit difficult, because most of these companies, they have reduced their slack and they are not trying to hire a lot of people. They have stopped their freezing. If the market is quite good, which generally is, then it is not a very difficult situation to find a job. But again, you don't have to rely just on my words. When you come here, you have to be very proactive and search for your jobs for yourself. Finally, you are saying computer science graduate and you are planning to do masters in data science. Yeah, I would say that that is a good option. You do your masters in data science since you are from computer science background, and hopefully you will find a job after completing your master. So guys, this video has turned out to be very big, so I'll just answer most of the questions in a jiffy, right? I'll just not read through, but Mohammed asks that VFS centers are closed in Pakistan, and will the international students be able to travel? As I mentioned, no, you can't travel. The travel ban is till 31st of December, so it's only from 1st of January probably that you will be able to travel, and you have to take online first semester. And then PhD application journey and research life in Norway. So dear friend, dear Nizar, what I'll do is I'll make a separate video on this, because this is a very interesting topic which you have suggested. I will make a big video on this and it will definitely answer your query. And why can't we do bachelor's in Norway? I have told you, my friend, you can't do bachelor's in Norway. The reason is because it's taught in Norwegian most of the times. And he also asks, Spirit Buster also asked, what would you say about nepotism in Bollywood, Sushant Singh death and the way Kangana Ranaut is fighting? So brother, what I would say, I mean, Sushant Singh Rajput, he was a very good actor, and I don't know what the entire story is, but nepotism in any sector is bad, and those who fight it, they are the real heroes. So heads up to Kangana Ranaut. And then, hello bhaiya, can I apply for a PhD in the same university if I have the master's degree? Yes, you can definitely do that, and that is recommended, because that is what I did. And the reason is because when you do masters, right, you are already in connection with the professors. So what I would suggest is that you go and talk to these professors and express your interest, that you are interested in doing a PhD, and hopefully you will end up doing a PhD. So that is my recommendation. Saidul asks me, if someone is living in Oslo and makes around 30,000 NOK, how much tax or she is? Generally, if you are making around 30,000 NOK per month, then I think you would be, I'm not an expert, but 19 or 20 to 22% of tax, that would be the tax that you. And can you please explain ECTS, Sarju Aval? So dear Sarju, ECTS is a very complicated process to explain, but it stands for European Credit Transfer System. And this is generally what happens is, I'll just give you one small hint, that for each bachelor semester, you have to do courses which are of 30 ECTS. And most of the time, one course is around 10 ECTS, that is 10 European Credit Transfer System. So in a bachelor first semester, you would actually do 3 courses. And then finally, when you do the thesis, which is in the 6th semester, that is of 30 ECTS. You don't study anything, you just do a master thesis. But what it is, you can actually Google it yourself and you will find a very good explanation and a good videos. Vineet asks that, does university provide accommodation for PhD students? Yes, universities do provide, but I mean it is only under special circumstances. But I won't recommend that you take the student accommodation provided by the for the PhD students. And when I say that, the reason is because the university where I came from, they used to charge actually say 7,000 to 8,000 NOK, and the accommodations were very small. The only good factor is that they are located in the university. For the University of Stavanger, it was located in the campus, so it's easy to commute. But otherwise, I mean, in the same cost, you would easily find a good apartment. Then Neeraj Kumar says that So opening borders, again, the question is about opening borders. First of all, congratulations that you have been admitted to one of the programs, and sorry I couldn't answer to your emails. But the point is, the international borders will not be opened till 31st of December because that is what the government of Norway has decided. So first semester online. And then Vabs P, he asked that can you share some information about the dependent visa if the son is working and holds a PR of Norway, and if or she wants to get his or her parents. So see, dear friends, what I would say that all of the information about visas and your PR, and if your spouse can work in Norway, and if your parents can move in Norway with you, so the best source of information is udi.no. See the link below, and it is a very intuitive website. You can find all the answers over there. But I will answer your question that yes, your parents can move with you, but the clause is that first of all you have to take care of them, so you should earn that much amount of money. And the second clause is that you have to document that there is no one in your home country who can take care of them. So then I think they can move here with you for the entire 3 years period. And then finally, I will take the last question, and the last question is again related to a PhD. That I want to do my PhD in computer science. It's Anoop who is asking this question. What are the immigration rules for spouse? So again, for immigration rules, go to your website, you'll find it there. But it's very simple. Since you are coming here for a PhD, you are a skilled worker. And since you are a skilled worker, your wife can come along with you on a dependent visa, right? The family immigration dependent visa. And he or she, yeah, she or he, definitely they have working rights. And but the clause is that if she or he wants to work as a skilled worker there must be a work contract, and if they get a work contract, then definitely they are free to work. And what is the average funding received as grant per annum per month? So if you're talking of the salary that you get as a PhD employee after tax, that is around 27 to 29,000 NOK per month. So I think these were a few of the questions which I could address in such a period of time, and there are more questions, so I will do a bit of research and I will come back to you guys very shortly. But please share this video, like this video, subscribe to our channel. If you have any more comments, please put them down and I will try to answer them. So that's all. Namaste from Norway, and be safe. Thank you.